tell me about something that happened to you that sounds like a lie. So it goes, multiple events which always revolve around my daughter throughout her life. She will be 23 in October 2024, so let's start with her at age 5, where she, by all means, should have been killed, or suffered severe brain trauma. And it would have been my fault. Myself, my ex, and my daughter, Dell, moved into our new house in July 2006 in North Carolina. Dell's room was unpacked and organized first. Small twin bed, bureau, comfy round cushion chair with rattan weave base, and a horizontal wall-mounted 5-drawer shelf and quilt rod from Pottery Barn. This shelf was substantial, weighing 68 pounds. It had a sticker on the back with its way and recommended installation instructions. At our last house, I mounted the shelf above the headboard of her bed. It looked good, so that is where I was going to hang it in her new room. I centered the bed with the center of the wall where her head would lay. Then put the shelf above the headboard. After leveling it out, I used 2 drywall screws, about 46 inch apart, and screwed them into the studs behind the drywall. Alas, mounting the shelf off of those 2 screw heads. Nice and snug. Like all men, I declared, that ain't going anywhere, with a hand pat. My ex immediately started putting random decorations on it. Music boxes, snow globes, random Disney trinkets, etc. I had taken a week off of work for this move and my ex had her summers off, so we both witnessed what came next. 4 days later, the ex got up to use the shitter as I laid there with one eye open as it was around 8 a.m. and I was feeling exhausted. As the ex came out of the master shitter, there was a hard thud which sounded like the door below us in the kitchen was slammed shut. I sat straight up and we both thought the same thing. Why TF is Dell going out to the yard? Why is she even up and out of bed? I began to get out of bed and made it to the steps when I heard the ex shriek my name from Dell's bedroom. When I got there, Dell was sitting up in the bed startled and my ex looked at me in disbelief as I looked on totally confused at what I was seeing. I missed both studs and the shelf fell off the wall. But it was laying perfectly parallel to the bed with all the stuff that we put on it scattered on the floor. First my heart sank because I messed up and this thing could have killed her. Wait a minute, it dawned on me, how TF did this thing not crush her skull? When it came off the wall, it should have fallen forward dumping its contents on her first, including a 10-pound 6-inch in diameter snow globe music box. Then the shelf should have dumped the 5 drawers and contents, then the shelf itself should have crushed her somewhere above the shoulders. But there it lay, parallel with the bed drawers intact, drawers facing the ceiling. For this to happen, it would have had to come off the wall and the right side would have to swing out to be parallel and move 3 to 4 feet to the left of the bed and set down. I asked Dell how the hell, and she had no idea. She woke up when it hit the floor and didn't really grasp it all. And the fact that she by all means should have had her skull crushed. I've thought about this and relived this throughout all the days that came after. There is only one conclusion. Something or someone had to catch it, move it away from her head and bed and drop it next to her. There is just no way this behemoth solid wood shelf could go from parallel to the headboard and frame to parallel to the side of the bed, a full 90-degree swing on its own. Something saved her life or at the very least massive head/neck/chest trauma. Then my ex looked at me and said, "Which Grace do you think it was?" It hit me like a ton of bricks. WTF, both our grandmothers, Dell's great-grandmothers, had died within the past 8 months and only weeks apart. Both were named Grace. I like to think they both grabbed an end of the shelf and kept Dell out of harm's way. I still dwell on missing the studs, never hung the shelf back up. Thanks for having my back, Grammy.